Someone asked, my question was the end game of Buddhism. So here's how it works. Ooh, my face is gone. So let me hit button 5 real quick. Okay. Welcome to Jumbo Camp. So I guess I can explain it best with a diagram. So I'll tap button 9 and share my diagram with you. Have you wondered why every culture has a tale of a fall from paradise? Ask an anthropologist, ask an archaeologist. They will tell you. Approximately 300,000 years ago, our ancestors, our Paleolithic ancestors, enjoyed a kind of proto-communism. Their culture encouraged the people to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. But that did not last forever. Approximately 13,000 years ago, our Neolithic ancestors experienced a kind of proto-capitalism that turned human culture on its head and conditioned folks to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. One of the greatest ironies of neuroscience is that by simply cooperating passively with our own autonomic nervous system, the anxiety and aggression of our amygdala is calmed, and the empathy latent within our anterior cingulate gyrus is gently stimulated. You see, every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we're wired to automatically access the middle bit of our spinal cord, which could be described as the hub of our sympathetic nervous system. It is evolved to help us to notice in a very special way, to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly all mind's antics of perception. Sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including the full spectrum of human emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. All of them, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. But what are we to do with all that stuff that we noticed? In a word, meditation. You see, every time we exhale, we have evolved to automatically access both the tippy top of our spinal cord as well as the very bottom. These two extremes of our spinal cord, when working as a team, could be described as the hub of our parasympathetic nervous system, which has evolved to help us to physically relax and mentally release during each exhalation, to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, less defining, and even as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. And so we see that whether we're talking about emptiness or whether we're talking about not self, these are merely metaphors to describe the automatic experience latent within every exhalation. So what's the end game, you might ask? And I'm glad you did. What if enlightenment was just a fancy term to describe getting so good at the Buddha's Eightfold Path that we practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively? As children, we learned to master using the commode instead of our diapers. We learned to master brushing our teeth. We learned to master tying our shoes. We learned to master riding a bicycle. We learned to master reading, writing, and arithmetic. Our central nervous systems are mastery machines. Simply by playing with mindfulness and meditation at least every 12 hours or so, we cannot help but automatically experience the remainder of the Sixfold Path. We cannot help but notice change and non-graspability. The more we practice mindfulness and meditation, the easier it is for us to automatically be kinder. Be kinder with our intentions, be kinder with our communications, be kinder with our conduct, be kinder with our commerce. The more we play with mindfulness and meditation, the more our choices, utterances, and deeds could flow not from contrived calculation, not from wild scatterness, but instead from love's deeply centered spontaneity. This is known by many names. Some call it right effort, some call it effortless effort, some call it wu wei, some call it going with the flow. And so, by playing with mindfulness and meditation, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, the Buddha explained in the second to the last passage of his discourse on the four bases of mindfulness that one could master this path in as little as 7 days. This requires no great heroics of asceticism. This does not require that one have a special body or live in a special place or learn a secret handshake. Just by cooperating with our autonomic nervous system, you and me and all our neighbors can become the people that our dogs already think we are. Okay, so I've done my best to answer that question, and the class has gone a little bit late, so I'm going to tie the whole thing up with a big red bow. Let's see here. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel, for Meditate Like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers just like you. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's dawn recitation, explanation, and practice of meditating like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.